Time to start.
Yep, chapter 1. Beep.
Hey.
Open up right now. I groaned, tossing my pillow at the door. Today is the day that my father will be assigning all of the young gods and goddesses who he deems worthy. Today is the day that my father will be assigning all the young gods and goddesses who he deems worthy a world of their own to take care of. Every single year I attend his classes. I visit the prospective worlds with my assigned guardians, and I pass all my exams. I just can't understand why, despite working so much, dang harder than everyone else, I won't be receiving the same sentiment. Why won't my dad accept my dream and give me a world of my own to care for? I've more than proven to him and my guardians that I can handle this task. Part of me knows that it has to do with what happened to my mother, but part of me also wants to hope above all else that my father wouldn't be holding me back because of something none of us had any control over. What my mother did does not define me, him, or even the sanctum. She was her own person who made her own decisions. I should not be held back because of that.
Imre.
We have to be there to support our classmates. Show your dad that you have some integrity. Einar's words pull me from my thoughts. It just isn't fair. My father will never approve of Einar's and my abilities. We do not have caretaker potential, or whatever our guardians told him. I beg to differ, but no one challenges Celestius and lives to tell the tale. Unfortunately, Einar is right. I have to go to the stupid ceremony, or my father will punish me. I jump off my bed and head to the door, plastering on a fake smile for Einar. When I open the door, it reveals the smiling boy.
Hey.
Keep that smile until all the celebrations are over. We must show your father that we can take his decision in good faith, lest he present us in even lesser position. Gets worse than being a scribe? Oh, come now, we're more than that. We get to be consulted about major issues happening in each of the assigned worlds.
Einar!
And relay them to my father, so essentially we're filtering out the unnecessary noise. Einar that makes us glorified note-takers. Well, if you put it like that. No, this is an important job he's entrusted us with. We must fulfill it to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Celestius' will and all that jazz. What's that theory say? An object in motion tends to stay in motion? Einar grabs my arm and gives me the look. Can't help but laugh. Some people call Einar my better half, the calmness to my storm, or even better, the thing that prevents the storm to begin with. It only feels natural that we've been best friends since divine conception.
Imre.
Imre, that's enough. That doesn't even apply to us right now. Good things come to those who wait, right? So let's go, before we're late and your father has our heads. Fine then, let's go. Just so you know, you're not going to be happy about it. Got it? Check. It has been duly noted. No. Sorry. Fine then, let's go. Just so you know, you're not going to be happy about it. Got it. Check. It has been duly noted. I tilt my head and give him a big smile. That confused me for a second until I actually looked at the name. Whoops. I tilt my head and give him a big smile. Oh, Einar, he knows me as someone who I've known for centuries would. Duly noted, like a note-taker? Look of exasperation to Mars's porcelain features. Imre. I wink before gliding past him towards the hall of the inner sanctum. What?
I ordered pizza. Can you keep me up?
Hey. You know what? Whatever. I went before gliding past him towards the hall of the inner sanctum. He's quick to follow. I know deep down I can't go to the ceremony. I can't watch for the 127th year in a row as my dream is passed off to my peers. One by one they will receive a blessing from my father and a world of their own. A world they can care for. People that they can protect and nurture. A land that can breathe life into. The land they can breathe life into. I want that more than anything. I want to nurture and watch as something I create and maintain grows into something amazing. I look to Einar with a sad smile and shake my head, letting my fine, silver hair fall into my face. He frowns, knowing full well where I'm headed to. Not to the ceremony where I'll have to face all those smiling faces. It's my sanctuary on this small planet. The crisp night air caresses my face like a forlorn lover. Excuse me, sorry. Jeez. Being out here is blissful serenity. The waves crashing against the warm sand that burrows between my toes help me think. Of all the places on this small planet, out here by the water is the only place I feel completely at home. Sometimes home feels so distant and foreign. Really? I know that I belong here, but I fear that I will remain here in sanctum for the rest of eternity. Hold on. You dumb cat? What do you want? It's your mom's fault for leaving the dang door open. Just gonna ignore you. Dumb cat. Might as well save anyways. I fear that I will remain here in sanctum for the rest of eternity. The life of unbound tumultuousness tumultuousness? Is that it? Stop messing with stuff! Dumb cat! That word, that my father thinks is paramount in the other worlds around Sanctum, is a misconception. Rayla, a goddess who had been assigned the role of caretaker to a small world on the outskirts of the galaxy at least a century ago, has told me that her world is harmonious. There's no greater joy to her than seeing the world under her care go from a small inhabited wasteland to an up-and-coming civilization. She gets to see what else is out there, and for that reason I'm envious. Imagine having an impact on not only a single person's life, but hundreds of thousands of people. What difference am I making being holed up in here? I hear footsteps, and it's evident who they belong to. The only other divine one I'm not at that stupid job designation ceremony.
Einar.
Einar, go to that ceremony. My father will think that at least one of us has some integrity. What's some integrity amongst the divines, right? He tries to pass off as a joke, but I understand what he means. Nothing in Sanctum has to do with integrity. The word is thrown around a lot, but I'm sure that's because it's an underhanded way to get us to do as we're told. Not having integrity in Sanctum is equated to not having any honor, but in reality integrity is standing up for one's moral beliefs. It's about having the courage to look the oppressor in the face and tell them that enough is enough. Even if you really love that person. So, maybe I don't have integrity in any sense of the word. It's not fair. We're capable of doing more than what my father is offering us. The rules in place are foolish.
Einar.
Einar, you're the smartest and most compassionate person I know. You shouldn't be stuck going through the complaints of other people. Will your father really not let us try again next year? Like, try 182. Well, 128 is the charm. He just doesn't want us to leave Sanctum. It's so beautiful out here. One would wonder why I would want to venture out. After all, in no other place would the sky be as sparkling and the water as clear. The humans think of this place as heaven. There's nothing but breathtaking beauty around me, but even that can get stale. If you ask me, they're the ones living in heaven. Every day is something new for them.
That may be true. You are both valued divines. It would be a travesty to lose either of you.
Father!
A loud booming voice shakes the sands beneath my feet. A low rumble travels through the waves. If the world could tremble in my father's presence, I honestly believe it would.
Ah!
You dumb cat! Out of my room! No! Out! No! You don't just suddenly pounce on someone's hand. It's not cool, dude. It hurts. Do I really need to kick you out myself? You're such stinker! I'm very sorry. Sorry about that. Your Holiness! Einar drops to his knees and places his hands on the ground in a bow-like motion. We were just on our way to the ceremony. I love Einar to death, but the boy can never stand up for himself. I know you two plan on staying back, and that's acceptable. You don't have to attend the ceremony, but you do have to accept your designations.
Absolutely not!
We cannot, Father. You'll have us just be your glorified note-takers. That's torture, and you know it. Stomp my foot on the ground as if I'm once again a small child throwing a tantrum. I still feel that way sometimes. I can beg and cry and scream, but if it isn't what's best for the sanctum, then I have to pretend like it isn't what's best for me. Sometimes it's okay to be selfish. Mother understood that. If Mother was here, she'd allow me to follow my dream. You know that, correct? Imre. Einar's voice is barely above a whisper, but this is one thing he cannot come between. As much as you adored her, she was not privy to all things. Your mother could not see the error in her own ways, let alone guide you in yours. Einar stands up, dusting off his long white coat. He bites his lip, watching me with the concern of a frightened friend. Don't you dare talk about her as if she had done nothing right in her lifetime. She chose you, didn't she? She brought me into this world. Father, all I ask is that you allow me to experience the same things that she got to experience. Silence befalls the three of us, and it's deafening. At this moment I realize my own shameful actions. I've put my mother, who I have not seen in over a century, above my father, who has done nothing but give me all I have ever known. My mother was banished from Sanctum when I had only inhabited the universe for my 11th year. She was a caretaker herself, but aside from that, I do not know much. She was never around, having dedicated her entire life to the world she was assigned. Had there not been an uproar, I would not have even noticed she had been exiled. My father made that call because he had to, not because he wanted to. I know that for a fact. Still, she was my mother, and she achieved her dreams of caring for a world. I doubt she would sit back and allow me to be pushed down. I've let my father down, haven't I? Maybe he's justified in denying me my dream of being a caretaker. But what does that have to do with Einar? 127 tries later, and yet he is still suffering from my mother's mistakes. We both are. My father doesn't say anything, and I don't know what to make of the silence. I know this may be the last time my father will hear me out, so I have no other choice but to make one last plea before both mine and Einar's fates are sealed. Drop to the floor as Einar had done earlier. You shouldn't talk of her that way, Father. Even if it's true, because it hurts me to know I will never see her again. I love you more than anyone in the entire cosmos, but the next words are barely above a whisper.
Please!
Please, I want to feel close to her. This is the only way I know how. Tears are running down my face, hot with sorrow, regret, rage, but most of all, dishonor. I know my outburst could have possibly cost Einar his position as anything deemed worthy of a divine. Cool. Father, if you will not allow me to be a caretaker, allow Einar. He has done everything right, passed every exam with flying colors, shown compassion when it was needed, and tact when it counted. He deserves it more than anyone. Imre. Yeah. Einar bows next to me, and I resist the urge to reach out and grab his hand. I want to tell him he doesn't have to feel like he owes me anything for
Your
this.
Holiness?
I beg of you to give Imre a chance of being a caretaker. She is even more dedicated and qualified than I am. I know of no one who is a better fit than her.
Both of you stand up. Have some integrity. I will not have you both groveling at my feet.
Integrity this, integrity that. We do as he says.
What you have done today has shown me one thing above all else. You are dedicated to each other, without a shadow of a doubt.
I have not granted either of you the opportunity to care for a world, because Imre, you are foolhardy and allow your emotions to get the best of you. Einar, you are too timid and fearful to dive headfirst into anything.
But together...
You two can be an unstoppable force, and I suppose you are right, my child. Your mother would have wanted you to reach for the stars. It was her last wish that you be happy. In this moment I feel so close to her, even if there are monumental things keeping us apart. I imagine she's out there somewhere, thinking of what has become of me, and I'm happy. Being in Sanctum, it's easy not to feel a familial connection to anyone, even blood, so I am grateful that my father has allowed me this moment.
I cannot in good faith allow you to remain chained here unhappily any longer.
There are some ground rules I must lay first, but otherwise I shall allow you and Einar to care for a world.
Father!
What she said. A surge of happiness rushes through my body. Did I hear him right? Father wants to give me and Einar a world to care for? Sir! Einar bows his head and reaches out, offering me his hand in support. I can't believe my ears. I've waited over a century for this very moment. Did you just say... I did indeed. You and Einar will get to be world caretakers. Under two very detrimental conditions. If you break either of those rules, I have no choice but to punish you both.
Father!
Anything, you name it, I'll do anything. Einar nods in
Your
agreement.
Holiness?
Me too, Your Holiness. 1. You must follow the rules set in place for all caretakers with no exception. Pay mind to the fact that you must monitor the world you are assigned from the comfort of Sanctum. 2. You and Einar to care for the world together. You mean like a pair? Einar and I look at each other, trying to hold back our grins.
As I said earlier, you two create both halves of the perfect whole. Work together and you can create something special. Imre, you are far too reckless. You jump into things without thinking. Your heart is big, but it will be your downfall. Let Einar be the one to rein you in, and Einar, let Imre to be your courage.
This is completely unexpected, and I'm not against it in the slightest. Einar and I are the perfect team. He smiles at me, an unbound happiness that I haven't seen from him in a while. This is amazing news. We won't let you down.
See to it that you don't. If things go awry, there is little I can do to stop the inevitable.
I assure you that. Anyhow, enjoy your last day as regular divines. Tonight you must prepare, as tomorrow you will get your world assignment. Bright light signifies that he has left our presence. I have never understood why he chooses not to take a corporeal form, instead letting his voice travel through the wind. No matter, I have bigger things on my mind now.
Einar!
I run and hug my friend tightly. We've done it. We're going to get a world of our own to take care of. This is really happening right now? We get a world tomorrow? We get a world tomorrow! The two of us gush for a bit. Working together as dual caretakers is unprecedented. Not only will I finally be able to take care of my very own world, but I'll be able to do it with my best friend. I really can't believe it. I think we'll need a second to process this. Maybe we should head back and just let it set in.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, that was the other guy. I think we'll need a second to process this. Maybe we should head back and just let it set in.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's do that. I should probably look at the names from now on. I'm actually gonna end that at, there. I really like this already, and I hope you guys do too. I'm sorry for any little mistakes I made, or that stupid cat making noise and making me hit my desk, which hurt, but I'm fine. So whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. My Discord and Twitch are down below. I try to stream every Friday, if not any other day, but sometimes it doesn't work out. But I hope you guys enjoy it. See ya.